This family adopted a Doberman from the shelter, and after 5 days, the parents heard a scream. This family adopted a Doberman from the shelter, and after 5 days, the parents heard a scream. What happened? You'll agree if I say that Dobermans are considered one of the top breeds people choose to pet regarding security, loyalty, and appearance. But what if you come to know their one basic quality that has yet to be talked about, but happens to you? A family of 4 adopted a beautiful Doberman from the shelter, just for the same reasons as anybody would, but a tragedy happened that no one had anticipated. Let's get into the story to know exactly what happened with that family. Jonas, his wife Priyanka, and their 3 lovely girls made their home in a rustic cabin in the forest's heart. He was a man who put in a lot of effort every day, so he could make a good house and feed best to his family. His daughters had a constant desire for a dog, and every time they saw one on television or the phone, they begged their father to get them a lovable little puppy. Jonas was never satisfied with having a dog, as he found it difficult to take good care of them, along with his busy schedule. But seeing his busy routine, he knew he needed one. He was away from the house and worked most of the day because he was busy. Because of this, he was always anxious about what if something terrible happened to his wife or daughters, and that mere notion of something awful happening caused him to shiver. So finally, one fine day, he decided to keep a pet dog for safety and to fulfill his daughter's utmost desire. He started researching dogs and asked his friends and relatives about keeping a dog and what breed he should look for. He used to get many answers, but most suggested adopting a Doberman. Dobermans are affectionate dogs, but they do have the capacity to be dangerous if necessary due to their physical characteristics.
Hey! Hey! Back!
They are enormous, robust, and have a strong bite. But other than that, they are just incredibly trustworthy guardians, and they are typically only hazardous to those who endanger the people they are closest to. His 2 little girls did a happy jump of joy when he told them the news. He, his wife, and their 3 adorable children decided to take a chance and adopt a dog so that it might become part of the family and serve as a guardian in case of emergency. Priyanka has always had a soft spot for Dobermans because of their distinct look and calm demeanor. Jonas took his family to an animal shelter and wanted them all together, deciding which would go with them home. There wasn't any particular color or style in their minds, and they kept exploring. On the 2nd floor, the 5th cage, all stopped, as if there was a certain click and a feeling that all of them experienced. His youngest daughter was so attracted to the dog that she was about to get so near the cage that Jonas got worried and pulled her back immediately. He thought that the dog might hurt her, but the dog was so quiet and got a little scared when he felt the sudden action of Jonas's hand protecting his daughter. He just barked and sat down in his place. The dog was so cute. They didn't want to explore more and just wanted to buy the exact one. Meanwhile, Jonas was not feeling 100% about the dog. He felt terror and scooted away immediately as he wanted to explore more. But his youngest daughter never left the dog's cage and kept standing at the same place as Jonas kept searching for more. Ultimately, he saw all his daughters gathered around the cage wanting the same dog. None of them moved from there. Now even Priyanka was confused and didn't want to go against her children. So all of them requested Jonas to go home with that dog. Jonas had to give up. What else could he do when the question is about his family's wish? That Doberman was carried inside their house and they gave him the name Elias. Not much time passed before Elias became a full-fledged member of the household. Jonas was delighted, but he also felt a bit perplexed. 2 days later, while hiking through the woods, he saw his youngest daughter struggling to remove her ball from a tree. His daughter was standing on a ladder to grab her ball, and he was busy sawing wood before he saw she would fall. He started to grab her when he discovered Elias had already gotten there and prevented her from hurting herself further. It was the first time in 2 days that Elias had surprised him by being a loyal and dedicated member of their family. That was when Jonas gave up on his confused feeling and started to believe in Elias as he continued doing these little save-ups. Jonas started to feel a little lighter as he began to trust that he could leave Elias and his family alone in the house and go away to work. Jonas used to take Elias on walks and trained him as a perfect little guy that would guard his daughters if he weren't around. Elias started to understand the gestures and mimic them as he looked the happiest when he was with the youngest little angel. He loved her the most. On the third day, Jonas took his daughters and Elias to the park and was surprised to see how Elias was guarding them without even Jonas gesturing to him or instructing him in any way. Dobermans do learn fast, but none could expect that things will change drastically one day. Jonas's daughters were playing, and was there a single person Elias let come close to them?
Down.
Elias was aware of every single person or child and knew instantly that the girls needed protection, which eased Jonas's mind and relaxed him to think he could trust him. It was the second time he trusted Elias wholeheartedly, and he was surprised by how protective he was of his girls. But what happened on the fifth day was unexpected. Can you guess what happened? Whether it is yes or no, kindly subscribe to the channel and like the video before we tell you what exactly took place on the fifth day. On that very day, Jonas and Priyanka were in the kitchen, Priyanka packing Jonas's tiffin for his work, and him helping her when they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from his daughter's room. Both dropped whatever was in their hands and rushed upstairs to see what happened. They were hoping for good, but somewhere they knew something terrible had happened to their daughter. Had Elias done something wrong to her? On reaching, they got shocked to see what the youngest daughter of Jonas's was covered in red paint, which they immediately anticipated as blood, and was standing right next to Elias. Jonas was about to grab something hard enough when he heard his daughters trying to stop him and tried to explain how Elias saved them from such a big tragedy. The Doberman considered the paintbrushes some harmful tool while the girls were painting and tried to snatch them away from the daughters as he suspected it could hurt them. And that's when the youngest daughter let out a big shriek, thinking he would hurt her. But what a beautiful dog! He was scared the daughter might hurt herself through the brush, so he tried to take it away from his mouth. He was just protecting her. The parents soon realized that Elias was a trained Doberman, only trying to protect the child from imaginary danger. The family was amazed by the dog's instincts and the bond it had formed with its children in such a short time. Jonas immediately hugged his dog and knew in that instant that he could never find a better Doberman than Elias to protect his family, or who could prove his loyalty to his family just like he did just now. After that, the Doberman was a devoted and attentive family member. Jonas and Priyanka loved having Elias as part of their family and couldn't understand how they'd get by without him. He loved his wife and girls just as much and felt empty without them around. Elias eagerly watches the front door for his two young daughters to come home from school. That's how devoted he is to them. The happy ending of this tale is a moving demonstration of how much love and attention can transform a dog from a shelter into a cherished family member. You can help save a dog's life and get a faithful friend and protector at the same time by adopting one, just like Elias, who did the same thing without considering the consequences. All he wanted was for his young girls to be safe. Would you also like to adopt such a loyal and faithful dog, or do you have one already? Tell us in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. See you in the next video.